Hey everybody, I'm Marsha Yates and I'll be your art teacher. Welcome to your new art class. One of the things I did this past summer was learn to use a webcam, a video camera, and I learned to shoot and edit video. I still have a lot to learn on editing. I even established a YouTube channel. It's called Transformium. I am really excited to be posting videos. And I just can't believe how cool and how much fun it is. It's a whole new YouTube world for me. You guys were way ahead of me on this. I had no idea it was so much fun. All the videos for our class are going to be posted on Transformium so that you can access them anytime to help you with your assignments. I guess the first thing everyone wants to know is how many credits is this class? And the in-class work is 3.5 credits if you do it all. The outside of class work, which is a long-term project that you do at home, is 1.5 credits if you complete the entire project. Next, I'd like to tell you that the expectations for this class are just as if we were in school, in person, sitting in our chairs and our tables at 5:05. So that means that in order to earn credit and grades, you actually have to do the work. You can't just show up once or twice or for the semester. You really do have to do the work, which should be a lot of fun because I've put a lot of energy and time into making it fun. And I'm counting on you to also help with making it fun, because there's no point in doing this unless it is fun. Next, I want you to know that we are going to be learning some new stuff. Yep, learning new stuff, which sounds cool. And the reason that we're doing that is, hey, we're in school. So we're going to be learning to draw. And after our first assignment, one or two assignments, we're going to focus on learning to draw. And there'll be some easier lessons and then some harder lessons. And once we're through with that, you'll have some brand new skills that you can use for the entire semester and even the rest of your life. And it will be really fun. Here's what our CP two-dimensional drawing art class looks like on paper. We've got a list of assignments right here. We'll be getting back to that. Here's what the drawing and painting class list looks like. We've got some cool theme-based assignments here, and we'll be getting back to that. Next, I'd like you to know that the school bought some really awesome art supplies for each one of you. We have some less expensive art supplies, which will probably get used up, but some more expensive ones so that you can try out real artist materials. And the more expensive ones really do need to be returned at the end of the semester. Actually, anything that still works should be returned. It's really important that you do this because if you don't, you might be billed for the art materials. But also, these are the supplies that we have for the school year. So if you don't return the supplies, then the next class won't have any, or you might not. So please remember that you're only borrowing the supplies and treat them well. Enjoy them, but treat them well. If you're in drawing and painting class, we'll be using watercolors and acrylics quite a bit, and you will also get your own set of those, which need to be returned when you're done. However, do have fun with them. If you're in CP drawing, you'll be getting a set of pastels and a set of charcoal and some watercolors, or a combination of those. Your parents will, or you will, need to pick up your package of art materials at the school and return them at the end of the semester. I want to say a few things about both of our classes. I want you to know that I really enjoy teaching art. It really is important to me to help everyone learn to access their creativity and develop their art skills. So each of these classes is really important to me, and I've designed them to help you wherever your skill level is. If you're advanced in drawing and painting, I can help you to take your artwork to the next level. If you are just beginning and you feel like you're somebody who isn't creative, or you can't draw a straight line, or other people have criticized your work, I want to help you right from that point and get you going so that you realize that it's a lie that you're not a creative person and that you really can learn to draw and paint. Not everything we grow up learning is true. And one of the things that is true is that each of us is a creative person. We just have different ways of expressing it. And drawing and painting are one of the best ways. It's a lifelong skill that you can use that becomes a coping skill in times of difficulty. It can also be a useful employment skill. In one case, I knew a student who, because he could draw and sketch right on site, his construction boss promoted him to foreman because he could help solve problems in building and highway work that other people could not. And he was able to convey, using drawing, how to solve problems and the steps that workers needed to take. So you just never know how useful or helpful these skills will be for you. That particular man went on to work for a very, very influential world corporation and is making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year now because of all the people that he supervises and the problems that he fixes. And he uses drawing every day. We're going to work with a formula. Art equals materials plus technique plus an idea. And the two classes that I'm going to be teaching will help you to develop each aspect of what makes art. The first thing we're going to be focusing on is the elements of art. And everyone will get a handout that looks like this, although the one you get may not be bright pink. Almost right away, we're going to be watching a video about the elements of art that I made using student examples. I've been collecting these for a number of years, and each of these student works illustrates an element of art. I've put it together in a presentation, and we'll all watch this together. You might be thinking about why it's important to know or understand or even see the elements of art. And the reason that it is important is because it has to do with your grade. We're going to be going over the grading policy in a moment, but grades aren't the only important thing. Really excellent art utilizes the elements of art, no matter what kind of art that it is. If it's abstract, or something realistic, or a drawing of an animal, a portrait, a landscape, all of these kinds of art have the elements of art in them. So each of our lessons, no matter what class you're in, will focus on an aspect of what makes really good art. Most of the time, each assignment that you get will give you a lot of artistic freedom, and it will allow you to choose the subject of your artwork, while I have chosen the technique or the materials for you. Now, regarding the elements of art, all you need to do here at the beginning is just understand what I'm saying to you. You don't need to memorize it because it's on a handout. You don't need to be able to explain them back to me. And we're not taking a test, although I do have a test, which I occasionally give, but I don't usually. Before we get into the video about the elements of art, we're going to talk a little about the grading policy. So here it is again. If you want to get an A, you need 10 art elements in your picture, and you need to show me where they are. If you want a B, you need to show me 8 art elements in your picture. If you want a C, you show me 6 art elements. If you happen to think that you're done with your artwork and it's good, but I give you a C, you can improve your grade by just working on it a little bit longer and adding more elements of art. So at that point, you might refer to the list and think about how you can add the ones that you're missing. In the second semester, we'll be working with these objectives here. And these are additional things that you're going to need to include and point out to me and show me that they're in your artwork. But I've established an art gallery online for our class. This is pretty exciting because this way we can share each other's artwork. Here's the address. And you will have to log in with your email address when you go to that site. On that site are examples for each lesson that we are talking about and working on. If by chance you took art with me in a previous year and you've taken Drawing and Painting 1 and you've taken CP Drawing, I do have an alternative for you. Which is a more independent art class on different themes. With this class, you'll also need a list of techniques. Combined with the theme handout, you'll use the technique handout. And each piece of artwork that you make, you'll combine one from each list, one theme and one technique, and you'll make something truly unique and creative. We'll talk more about that later. Remember, I'm trying very hard to help you make the best art product that you can, and I want you to try hard too. So be wise, stay focused, use your time well, and ask questions when you need to, because that's what I'm here for. You make my life interesting by asking questions. We do have an attendance policy. I'm not going to talk about it in detail here, but I just want you to know that other people are waiting to take this class. So if you stop attending for a number of days, we will have to remove your name from the roster unless you are excused. If you are excused, that's a different story. So please keep in touch with me because I want you to pass this class and I want you to be here with the rest of us and enjoy it. This class won't be a class without you. Your presence is important and wanted. What you do in class is really important for the rest of the class. If you make positive comments during a class discussion, it helps make the class interesting for others. Other people want to hear what you have to say, so it's really important that you add your comments to a discussion. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to do that. Encourage others. Stay for the entire class. Give respectful feedback to others about their artwork. You could demonstrate a technique that someone has shown you that you find helpful, which other people would enjoy seeing. I know this video is getting a little long, but I really do appreciate you paying attention. Thank you. Lastly, we're going to talk about Zoom class expectations. When you arrive at class, please remain muted until we begin. Please be on time because it's really important. I don't like saying things twice or 3 or 5 or 10 times. Leave your cameras on until you're given the option to turn them off. Last semester, I had a lot of students who didn't like being on camera, and so they would turn their cameras off. And I often felt like I was the only one in the class, and it made the class really hard for me. So I'm going to ask you to keep your cameras on, particularly at the beginning and the end of class. Somewhere in the middle of class, we'll all meet together again and share what we've completed so far. At that time, I'll ask you to hold up your artwork to the camera so that I can see it, much in the same way as I just did for you. I'd ask you to hold it up pretty close so that I can take a good look at your details and make some useful comments to you about the work. Your art is as unique as you are, so I never see the same response for every assignment. It's all new to me, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what you do. If we use breakout rooms, we'll do it in a way that's fun so that everyone feels like they're really in the same room with each other. Please respond if you are asked a direct question. When your work is completed, I need you to email it to me, not text it. Email it with a title and your name for your grade. If you don't think of a title, that's okay, just put untitled. If you would like me to post your finished work on our Pass Gallery website, please give me permission in your email. Just say something like, okay to post. If you don't email me your artwork, I won't be able to give you a grade because I won't be able to see it. Texting me your artwork will work well during the class so that I can see the details that you're working on and give you suggestions and praise, because I'm sure you're going to be doing awesome work. But when your work is done, please email it to me. I think that's about all I want to tell you at this time about the class, and there'll be other videos on our YouTube channel, Transformium. Thank you so much for your attention and for participating in this art class.